You either grow or die, and I'll choose grow every time.
At least 4 billion useless eaters will be eliminated by the year 2050.
Whenever a truth is heard, there's no going back. You are the main character in the video game of life.
I personally don't believe anything they say, right down to the God they claim they worship.
Life is too short to not make understanding the truth a priority.
Here's the thing about the music business. It's a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs. Also, there's a negative side.
It's all dualistic.
You could stack up all their math books, all their science books, and even put all their degrees stacked up on top of that, and you still wouldn't be high enough to see the curvature.
No two people should ever agree completely on everything. If that happens, one of them isn't thinking for themselves.
We're just regular people who know we're being lied to and we're tired of it.
The bottom line is, there's only one choice left, and that's to dismantle this whole thing from the top down.
Whoa! Or whatever Vince does. Welcome to the Here's the Phone Booth podcast. I'm Ted.
Here's
With
the
me,
phone
as always, is Vince.
What's up? Let's talk about Trump, baby.
Let's not just yet. You know what we got to talk about first, Templar?
What's that, buddy?
We got to talk about phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. It's a
Yes,
great
sir.
site. It's free to subscribe. You can pay money and subscribe and get even more bonus content. But here we've got about 9 different podcasts. We've got the Phone Booth podcast, the Philosopher King podcast, the Dualistic podcast, the Pick Is In podcast, Here's the Thing podcast, the Mind of Madness, Fasting Fake, Detoxing the Matrix with Ali, Translucid with Laz. Dude, there's so much stuff. It's just amazing. We got a merch store that you can check out as well. Get all kinds
actually
of
go to that. Scroll down to this, by the way. Like, make sure everyone gets a good look at this, because today we're going to do something fun. And somebody's going to get a chance to win their choice of shirt out of the merch store today.
You heard it here first, folks. Templar is going to buy you a shirt.
That's right. One lucky winner has the potential to get a shirt today.
In order to do that, what do you have to do?
So you're going to have to do a couple things, okay? First off, you're going to have to repost the stream first and foremost. Second off, you're going to have to enter in Son of a Cock. And then third is you'll have to reach out to Snoop or myself, your information when you win. This is only for people that live inside the U.S., unfortunately. I can't send shit outside of the U.S.
Sorry, Laszlo.
Yeah. However, if you live outside of the U.S., but you got like homies here in the U.S., like I'll buy it, like I'll forward it to those people in the U.S. So you can be eligible at that point. And then subscribe to the Substack because it's free, so it's not going to cost you anything. So retweet the stream, right? Enter Son of a Cock, and go get a subscription over to Substack. All right, as long as you meet those 3 things, when we pull your name, we'll get your information, and you can get any shirt. They're $25, or if you want the coffee mug, you can have that. But
lots to choose from.
Yeah. But if you don't have those 3 things done, then you don't win, and it is what it is. So,
want to throw another shout out to the Can Am Bullion. They got all kinds of metal, even some heavy metal. But look, silver is in a dip right now. So now maybe it's a good time to buy. You know, it was up at what 108 or 110, I think, last week. So could be a good time to buy. Again, we are not financial experts, but you don't want to be stuck holding dollars when the shit hits the fan. So, you know,
Right. Yeah.
definitely go to Can-Man and get some bullion from Michael Piccioni. I hope I
Well,
said that right.
when you see gold is at about $5,000
Yes,
an
sir.
ounce right now, so I mean that I'm not a financial guy either, but it definitely seems like a safe, stable place to keep your money. I don't think you're gonna really lose out on gold, but I'm not a markets guy, so
You're not a markets guy, huh?
I'm not a markets guy. No,
What
no.
kind of guy are you?
A fucking crazy guy, man.
Mind of
Crazy.
madness.
Ugh, get off
So
my yard.
good. So this is weird, huh? It's just the two of us here today.
I know. It's like we don't even have anyone watching either. So that's great, just about 10,000 people and you and me.
Well, isn't that special?
That's special.
Get your hashtag son of a cox in there. Looks like we've only got one. Thank you, Poppy Garcia.
Poppy.
Let's see here. Thank you, Templar, for reposting. Ted, I'm here for the party favors.
Oh,
Shout out to Ted's mom, by the way. She's a
that's right.
special lady.
We're gonna need 10 repos. We need enough people in here to make it a contest, by the way. So we need some people to get in to actually make it a contest. Let's go.
Thank you, Timbo.
Boom.
Subscribe to Substack. Ted's right, you know. You really need to subscribe to Substack.
Dude, Substack is crazy. So, Vince was showing me how you can go over and just because everything gets transcribed, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
can search through, like let's say there's a 4-hour podcast, right? And you're like, oh, when they were talking about whatever, where the fuck is that in the video? And you just type those words in, and then it finds it in the transcript, and then you can find that part in the video. You can't do that on X. You can't really do that on YouTube, but you can do that on Substack, and that's pretty badass, especially when it's a long video to be able to track information down like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to make it real easy when I have to go back through all these notes I've got here and timestamps of all the gay shit that Vince has said. All I got to do is type in certain keywords, and we're going to have a whole episode of Vince talking weird. It's going to make my
That's
job
awesome.
easy. Yeah, yeah.
You got a whole
So,
collection going, huh?
yeah. How was your weekend, Templar?
It was good. I spent it with the family, the son, my daughter. Took her out shopping, and then
Nice.
just kind of kicked it online and around the house. What about you, buddy?
It was great. Got to hang out with the boys on Saturday night, with the live stream, which is always a blast. It was cool. We had Malka on. Always a blast talking to that guy. I
Yeah.
mean, I hope he comes on the Here's the Thing podcast at some point in our lives because I would love to just pick his brain a little bit. He's like you, man. I love talking to people like you guys because you're so full of knowledge, dude. And I'm such a dummy, like when I talk to people
Listen
like
to
you
you.
guys. Like, so it's like I learn stuff every time, It's beautiful. I love it.
Malka is a bright guy. I've
He's a little bit upside down, but that's all right. But what are we talking about today, man?
I think we have a few things, right? We got a lot
Yeah.
of really gay shit. Yeah. Um, I, I
uh,
I think we have what we got. The
well,
ring surveillance state. We got everything going on with Jeffrey Epstein, along with some
and who is
things that
Jeffrey Epstein?
I don't know, some guy who was like on the Notebook or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't followed too much of it.
Well, let's talk about this ring stuff. Let's lead off with that. You want to lead off with that?
Yeah. So, well, my understanding is I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but I did see the commercial. So I guess fucking Ring kind of red pilled like half of America because they presented this commercial under the guise that like, hey, we're gonna be able to find your puppies and stuff like that, and then Americans were like, wait a minute, if you can just like track down dogs like that, what's that say about me? And so there's all this pushback, which resulted in Amazon canceling a contract with uh, Flock, right? Isn't that who it was with? Flock is who they had the
Flock?
network with. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
So if you want to play that commercial, and we
yeah,
can
let's
see,
pull up the Ring commercial. So this aired during the Super Bowl. So let's play this, and then we'll get into the Amazon.
yes, sir.
This is Milo. Pets are family. But every year, 10 million go missing. And the way we look for them hasn't changed in years.
Oops.
Until now. One post of a dog's photo in the Ring app starts outdoor cameras looking for a match. Search Party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs. Since launch, more than a dog a day has been reunited with their family. Be a hero in your neighborhood with Search Party. Available to everyone for free right now. Join the neighborhood at ring.com.
So this is kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it sounds sexy in thought. You know,
Right.
you lose your dog, we'll help you find it. Isn't that why they started putting the chips in the dogs?
Yep.
So, yeah, like Pridon Paul just said, Palantir is behind all of this. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And
And
go
they
ahead.
were they were trying to showcase it in a way that went under radar, right? Because they were trying to make it all about dogs and puppies. Hey, look how great it is. You could just be like blah blah, and then everything will just start looking for it. And then it's like, wait a minute. If
Well,
that's happening, what what isn't being looked at, right? So I guess they facial scan. So give you an example. Let's say my neighbor has it. I walk outside and I'm going, this thing's still trying to fucking facial scan me for facial recognition, even though that's not my fucking camera, right? That's not my thing. I don't even know that this is happening, and I'm getting tracked up, right? And then so that's kind of, I don't know. It's like being low jacked all the time. Really, that's what it feels like. You don't have the chip, but you're still getting low jacked.
yeah. Well, you know what I wonder is how many people have these Ring setups and they have cameras inside the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then all that just feeds in. So there's this all started actually like a couple years ago. And I sent you actually a video on this for the Amazon sidewalk.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what they showed in the on the Super Bowl commercial is so Amazon released this in 2023. This is when they were showcasing what they were calling Amazon Sidewalk, and that was everything that you have that can interact with the Internet of Things, is all went online together, right, and created this really big smart grid. And now we're 2 years down the line, and people understand that we have this. But this is how it was being presented to us 2 years ago when some of us were ringing the bell telling you that the sky was falling.
Well, let's watch this.
Amazon Sidewalk is a shared network that allows connected devices to continue working amidst disruptions and with longer ranges. This technology is now available for developers to integrate into devices and accessories, opening the door to new solutions and innovations the world has never seen. Sidewalk is a network by the people, for the people, made safe by the latest in internet security technology. So what does that mean, and how does it work? Amazon Sidewalk uses a variety of wireless technologies, one of which is LoRa. LoRa is a low-power, long-range solution that allows any Sidewalk device within range to maintain a network connection. Select devices serving as bridges pool together a tiny portion of internet bandwidth to create one expansive network. Why is that useful? Say you're out of town and you want to remotely turn on your outdoor lights. If your home network connection is lost, so is that communication. But with Amazon Sidewalk, your lights still receive that message using the shared Sidewalk network. Additionally, if you drop your keys on your morning run, Sidewalk can alert you of their approximate location. It can also detect motion, track packages, sense air quality and water leaks, monitor security. The possibilities are truly endless. With Amazon now opening up Sidewalk to developers, expect to see a growing number of tech aimed at making the world a safer, smarter, and more connected planet.
Eek.
Ain't that crazy? Everything's connected. Everything's tattling on you. and they're opening it up to developers. So that means like people outside of Amazon are going to have access to all of that data, all that real-time data. That's scary as hell, brother.
Dude, so I was something came up in my algorithm on YouTube. That's where I get most of my content is just, I watch stuff on YouTube. And a thing came up where a guy had murdered his wife and he was busted by his own cameras.
I believe it. It sucks for him, but I believe it.
Like he had everybody fooled for the longest time until they got the records of the time of when his camera had shut off, because he left most of them on, or he turned most of them off, but there was one still on that busted him. Even though you couldn't see anything, it's like they were able to determine by the time stamps on it, and they busted him.
So there's another interesting aspect to this. Whatever this lady's name from NBC, Grufor or whatever the hell her name is, you know who I'm talking about?
The missing
Yeah,
mother.
yeah. For the chick who works for NBC. Yeah.
Guthrie or something, yeah.
So this lady has it wasn't the Amazon one, it was the Google one, so fucking Ring or whatever. But anyway, so she's got this doorbell, but she doesn't have it hooked up to the internet, right? And she doesn't have a subscription for the service to get it uploaded to the cloud to save it, right?
Okay.
So tell me how the FBI was able to grab that information off the back end. And the answer to that is that one, everything's always connected via the Internet of Things, so that's how it got uploaded. And two, everything gets uploaded and kept. So just because you didn't pay for the subscription service doesn't mean that they didn't get that stream and that they don't have that data. And this is an example of verification that this is the situation. And and you'll see him kind of like stay away from that aspect of the story. But that's the meat and the potatoes. And just so everybody knows, the federal government, whether you say NSA, etc., require that all the data that these companies suck up, your phone companies, the tech companies, whatever, they have to maintain it, right? So even though you can delete it on your end, you think, oh, that text is gone, nobody's going to get it from me. Bullshit, dude. Fucking your provider has a hard copy somewhere. It's just got to get subpoenaed, or the right person's got to ask for it, and it's all right there. So recognize that you don't necessarily have as much control over this technology as you think you do. Like imagine you think, you give your phone permissions or your TV permissions to use it as a smart TV, but the fucking thing's checking you out and listening to everything you talk about. What's up, Malcolm?
Speak of the devil, there he is. Hey. What up, Malcolm? We just talked about you, my man. Yeah, it's really frightening, and data is the most valuable thing to them. They want all of your data. And it kind of along those lines is stuff like 23andMe. You get your family and what is it, Ancestry, and some of these other ones. Well, the Mormon Church bought up all of them, and they're storing all of that data too, and that gets real scary in itself. You give them a DNA sample, and I think they just sold it to another company too. I can't remember who bought it, but somebody big bought it. BlackRock.
BlackRock, or I thought they sold it to like a country, but we would have to look that up. But I know, yeah, and they sold.
Dude, that's scary shit. Because like, what if they wanted to frame you for something?
Well, dude, we're coming to that point. When I was younger, movies like Total Recall and The Running Man, right? They show you like basically like deep fakes, right? They were showing, like videos of Arnold doing shit he hadn't really done, and they were doing this back in the 80s, and now we know that that's just AI fucking deep fakes, like that's what we know it to be. And imagine we're to that point now where if you step out of line, you do the wrong thing, you say too much, it's real easy to push a deep fake out there, Maybe you were with an underage chick. You weren't, but fucking in that deep fake, you sure the fuck were,
Um, yeah, it's just terrifying. I don't even like to use the cloud at all. I never upload my photos, videos to the cloud. Um, I keep everything on my local storage. I don't like using it. Sometimes we use it, for podcasting. We have to send episodes and videos and stuff back and forth, but I don't like it. I've never activated my own Google Drive or any of them, you know?
But you know what's funny is even with that, and I'm a real stickler for this shit, right? I keep everything compartmentalized. But I noticed that everything right now is coming and giving you the alert that hey, we've made some changes to how we uh look at your data and what we do, etc. And like, somebody like me, let's say, like I've had a Google account for fucking what, like 20 years, some shit like that, damn near. When I originally signed up that end user agreement, it wasn't really shit, right? And they keep updating it. Now they're all like, dude, we can look at your fucking emails and scan them and do whatever the fuck we want. And I never really got to sign off on that agreement, right? Like, oh, those are the change of terms? No, they're just like, oh yeah, everything you got connected to your Google account, you still want to use that? Then you're gonna follow the terms of agreement and you're gonna just, continue on. Otherwise you can just not use it. And it's like, dude, they get your fucking data, they got you by the balls.
Yeah. And hey, Malcolm, of course it was all good. I can't imagine someone ever saying something bad about you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, what could there possibly be bad? But I mean, he does live in the land of criminals, so who knows?
Yeah, yeah, Aussies.
What's up, Squigs? What up, Nephilim Hunter?
Yeah, look at that. It's a full house. What's
Yeah.
up? Good to see you all.
We got this other Amazon video here, and I jumped to the timestamp that you told me. How long do you want me to play it?
It just start on that thing, and it's not going to be very long. This is an example. So this is an internal thing from them, from Amazon. Kind of like coworkers among developers communicating internally, kind of pitching the information. But this is back when they were putting together the Amazon Prime sidewalk thing, and this was them talking about, hey, we could use it for this, and we can use it for this, and we can use it to like read meters and shit like that. So this kind of gives you an insight on how the technology was being perceived. I mean, all this is in place now, but it gives you a good understanding of how it's connected.
Here, I'll pull it up and let's check it out.
These different solutions, these different products on our network. Next slide, please.
There we go, right here.
And in terms of the network coverage, this is a snapshot showing population coverage in the US. We claim about 90% population coverage. It's actually a little bit higher than that right now since the snapshot was shown. And so you can see this very broad coverage of a network. Again, it's there. You can use it. It's a powerful solution to enable IoT connectivity for all kinds of different devices. And if you'd like that URL there at the bottom, coverage.sidewalk.amazon, this is a live map and you can go and play with it yourselves. So at that point, I'd like to hand over to Bob, who's going to talk about some pain points in IoT and how Sidewalk can provide some solutions to these problems.
You can stop there for a second if you want, buddy.
Yep.
So just right there, the main thing is that the coverage, right? So plus 90% of the population in the United States is enveloped in this shit, right? So there's some rural areas which they don't have under their thumbs yet. And through the rest of 2026, 2027, 2028, you're going to see the last of the 5G infrastructure actually get laid out there. And that's the basis for the 6G shit, which is all, getting the foundation laid now so it can launch in 2060. But everything is going to be a part of the same signal. Everything is a part of the same system. I mean, it's a brave new world, it truly is. It's science fiction today,
Yeah. Wait, just wait. We're going to be connected too. It's not just going to be devices. It's going to be humans, Animals probably too, You're going to have a Neuralink. Your dog's going to have a Neuralink.
Did you
I
see
mean,
the video of them getting the signal from the people in the graveyards? The Bluetooth
mm,
signals?
I don't think so.
So, and YouTube, don't get mad. I'm just talking about some stuff that, like they've shown on the news. They're they're at the graveyard and they're pinging Bluetooth signals from the bodies in the ground.
Wow.
So the thought is maybe there was something in the that is causing this. Maybe it's something in our food. I don't know what the reasoning is, but I can tell you like it's a thing, it's a phenomenon that is occurring, and it's very real.
I remember probably, gosh, it's probably been 20 years. I heard there was a German company that was inventing like a molar that you get implanted, a tooth, and it's essentially your Bluetooth.
Mm. That would make sense because they have what is it? They call it bone conducting. So it would just vibrate, and then through the bones, it would create sound. Nobody outside would hear it. So by just resonating, bone conductivity. So that would make a lot of sense, dude. And then oh man, yeah, that's fucking wild.
At what point? I mean, I guess we're already at the point where, you know, people just they want convenience, and so that's why they do stuff like this. But at what point are people going to realize that, hey, this convenience is not worth it?
Well, and what is convenience, right? Like, does your toaster have to hook up to the internet? Does your refrigerator have to hook up to the internet? Like, it's even getting to the point like it's so absurd that they're putting all this shit together. Now they got it where like your printer's a fucking on a subscription based model. You can't even just buy a printer with just ink. You got to go through all these. Like everyone's trying to move that way. Like, what's going on? That's not convenience. That's not convenience at all. But they got the world going that direction, and us
You know,
dinosaurs got to follow along.
when I first saw it, I thought this was a cool feature that your refrigerator would have a camera on it. Let's say you're at the store and you want to take a peek inside your fridge. Oh, do I need to get milk or something? You know what I mean? Sounds cool,
Right.
but who else is getting this footage? Who else is watching this?
Right.
You know?
Like you just get done with your girl, you walk out to the kitchen, you're scratching your balls, drinking some milk, and your CIA rep is fucking, staring you down. You just don't know it, like
That would never
he's going
happen,
somewhere.
Templar. I don't drink milk. Oh man. Like and that's just the thing is even though like when you agree to let, Samsung or whoever makes your fridge, you agree to their terms and whatnot, they're gonna sell that data eventually, you know? It's not,
Yeah.
it's not you're not just giving it to Samsung. You're not just giving permission to Samsung, you know? They're gonna do whatever the hell they want with it.
And even that is kind of fucked up, right? Like if you and I own a company, right, an LLC, right? Like let's say we wanted to make a fucking Ring doorbell company or whatever, right? And we go do this, like they're going to look at us a completely different way. But yet a big old company like, you know, Amazon can do damn near anything they want. Even though Amazon's supposed to really be a person, it's supposed to act as like an individual, as a corporation. But they just get like this fucking like, I don't know, super vote, this super majority status. You know what I mean? And I think that there's a big issue with that in this country. Like we used to have protections on monopolies and shit like that, but now these like big tech companies can just pull us by our hair anywhere they want to take us because they hold all the controls and they're never held accountable. No matter what they do, they can make $50 billion in a year doing the most scandalous, fucked up shit. They get caught, they get fined maybe $100 million. Okay, big deal. Still made a fat profit. You know what I mean? But if you and I would have do a fraction, a fraction of the shit that they do, we'd be locked up under the fucking jail. They'd get us for like what do you call that? Like essentially like stalking, right? Like wiretapping people and shit. Like if I start listening to you through your fucking TV, something's gonna happen to me, right? Like they're not gonna be like, oh, well, you signed the terms and, but when Amazon does it, well, you signed the end user agreement. What are we gonna do?
Well, you know what else is? It's not just the private corporations that have it right now. It's eventually going to turn into the government getting it too, because it's going to be a safety issue. Well, we have to be able to monitor this for your safety. This is about protecting you. And it
So
goes back to what Benjamin Franklin said. Those who give up their freedoms, or I can't remember verbatim what it says, but you give up your essential
freedom for
liberty.
security deserve neither.
Right.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting about that is there's a lot of municipalities and police departments that will give you a free Ring camera, right? And then you allow them to use it on their network. So like if there's a lost kid or a crime or something that they go, so you agree with that. My buddy does it. I think he's fucking nuts. He's all like, well, I'm old. It doesn't matter. I'm like, well, I mean, it kind of does because they're down your shit. You're giving them access like into your home essentially, right? Um,
Hmm.
dude, so yeah,
So,
they're already doing it under, the auspicions of, you could be safe.
so check this out. It's probably been 2 years now. I came across something. This company called Telly TV was giving away a free TV.
Okay.
55-inch TV. It's got a built-in sound bar, and then below the sound bar is another screen. It's probably 9 inches by the same width as the TV, and they're giving away for free. All they want to do is this: they want your data. They want to know what you're watching and this and that. And so I went ahead and signed up for it. And let's be honest, they're already doing that anyway. At least this company's being upfront and telling you, hey, this is what we're going to do. Well,
Mm-hmm.
lo and behold, I had forgotten about it. Lo and behold, I get a message, hey, your TV's on its way. I'm like, no way, dude. This is real. And I got it. And it's legit. It's a nice TV, 4K, killer sound bar. And on that bottom screen, it's really neat. It's got widgets. So I have an app on my phone, and I just put what widgets I want in there, so I can get all my sports scores. I can get news, weather, anything I want, and they come up in news boxes, and then you can click on the widget. Like, let's say there's a cool news story in there. You click on that news story, and then boom, it'll bring it up on the big screen, and you can scroll and read the news story. The sports, it's great. You can click on each individual game. It gives you the betting lines even, and it's got a camera built into it. Okay, and you can do it's got the door that shuts, opens, and closes, so it covers the camera up, so it's not always open, which is
Right,
nice.
right.
And you can do, like, it's built into the TV. It's got games you can play. Like, you can play like whack-a-mole, so you literally will be doing this in front of the TV, and it's watching your movements and jump around and everything. And it's got workout routines, so you can do like exercises and stuff, and it tells you, if you're doing it properly. I mean, it's really fascinating what you can do. You can do Zoom calls. I'm a little bummed you can't use it. Like, I can't do Google Meet or whatever it's called now.
Right, right. Google Meets.
But what's really crazy, man, is like, so it comes with a separate piece, like a Google stick. You don't have to use it at all. I was using
Like
it
a
in the beginning.
Fire Stick.
Very similar, yes. It's just Android based, and it's actually really good. I really like it, and I use it on a different TV. And I like on the remote, it's really good because it's got the preset buttons down there, and I really like the ones that it has. It's got YouTube, Netflix, Prime, and you can custom one to make it whatever you like. So that was really cool for me. Not like the ones on like the Roku, where it's like, I don't use freaking Disney Plus or Vudu, like what, but it's crazy because you can be watching a movie like on Netflix or something, so an outside app, and the TV knows what you're watching, and it'll, like, on the bottom screen, it'll say, so and so is in this movie. Like, it'll have the cast and everything, and it's really crazy.
Yeah.
Like even like when I'm using like a web browser, like sometimes I'll go into a web browser to use like if I want to watch a sports game or something, stream a game, and it knows exactly the game I'm watching, everything. It's like, damn. But
The whole brave new world, man. And
yeah,
you know, they not only are they tracking what you watch, but then obviously you allow them to connect to your phone, so they get to suck up that phone data too. So I mean, at least you're getting something out of it. I get it. You know, like fucking 50. What'd you say? It was 55-inch 4K
55.
TV with all those fucking bells and whistles. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's a lot better than spending $700 for a TV that does all that.
And like the only real agreement that you have with them is that you are going to use it. Like you have to use it. Like I couldn't just put it in storage if I wanted to. You know, like they say you're supposed to use it as your main TV. Well, I use it in my room because that's my main TV.
Right.
But if you unplug it for too long, they'll shut it down and it makes the TV not usable. So if somebody tries to sell it, you know,
Oh yeah.
and then if you like they either want you to send it back, like if you don't want to use it anymore, you have to send it back and they cover the shipping, so that's nice. But if you don't ship it back and you stop using it, they charge your card, you know, I think it's like $500 or something like that. So, but
I mean, I guess it makes sense. They want to suck up data.
lucky for me, the card I gave them is expired. So good luck. But
Well, that's cool. It sounds like you won in that arrangement, buddy. I mean, I get it. I would have probably, I don't know.
look, Haywood's seen it in person. You know, he comes over sometimes and we'll watch games and stuff. Yeah, he knows. Everybody, let's put hashtag son of a cock in the comments. You can steer the conversation. I don't know when we'll do it. Maybe in 30 minutes or so, we'll do the son of a cock, and you can
Right, and
steer the
don't forget to
conversation.
share the stream as well.
Yeah, and you know, today's a special day for the son of a cocks because Templar's going to give you a T-shirt of your choice if you win,
Right.
and you got to repost, and you also have to subscribe on Substack.
Right, and we got to just get a total of 10 reposts. We don't have to have 10 people in the thing, but 10 reposts will get it. Like, come on, you can do this. You can do it.
I have another timestamp in this video that we were just playing from the Amazon stuff. Do you want to go over that?
If you want, sure, yeah.
Yeah, all right, let's pull it up, and I got it queued, ready to go.
So now that you know how they have damn near everything under coverage, right? The next timestamp was essentially now them being all like, okay, well, we can, since we have all this under coverage, we can access this and we can utilize it this way and that way. So.
That's right, Ted. Haywood and I snuggle your mom all tight and close while we're Netflix and chilling.
Netflix and chilling.
Solutions already built into it, making it very easy to support an enterprise class client. Next slide, please.
There we go, right here, I think.
And I'm going to use a couple of examples here.
Oh, I don't know if this is
here,
it.
for example, multi-building or multifamily building.
Okay, that was the timestamp I had for you.
Oh, okay. It might have been. I know what he's talking about here. And here, you can just play this part. That's
examples.
Yeah.
You know, what are the challenges you encounter when you're doing something like that? Well, first of all, you don't control the Wi-Fi networks in these places. Tenants are going to do their own thing. So you have a 2.4 gigahertz is crowded. It's just busy with all the different Wi-Fi going on. A lot of the tenants probably have their own Wi-Fi networks going. You've got, you know, things that you just don't have control over. And you want to be able to control all the mechanical infrastructure of a building, but you want to be able to do it in a way that doesn't hurt the customers and doesn't negate your ability to do the job that you're taxing it to do. So low band here, again, plays such a big role in that. For one, it penetrates buildings better. So you don't have to have a lot of gateways in a building for a low band solution to work. It can see for a long distance, even inside of buildings where you typically have big problems, especially when they're commercial grade buildings with a lot of steel and concrete infrastructure and low penetration of the higher bandwidth protocols. Amazon Sidewalk solves that for you. You've got that wonderful blend of those three protocols where the device can find the one that works and just go and do it. Again, you don't have to pull wires or put in switches, you consume switch ports and have, staff people that are having to take care of it. The infrastructure back end is already taken care of for you. So now you can just focus on building a device that's really good and can just jump onto this already established network and do its job. And again, the setup is simple. You don't have to do multiple truck rolls in order to make it work. Next slide, please. Again.
Yeah, and then that's just them literally saying that, they'll be able to interact and communicate and control your water meters, all the shit that your vendors would put out there, like everything can be remote, etc.
So, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, it's like at some point the government's going to come in and take control of all of this stuff. And let's say you're wanted. Well, here, we'll shut off your electricity. We'll make you come out of that house,
Yeah.
We'll start playing Slayer at 4 a.m. to drive you nuts. You know what I mean?
Or your ID, right? Like when you're in your little 15-minute city and shit, Like
That's scary. These 15-minute cities are popping up. There's one already out here in Arizona.
There's one setting up right now out there?
Yeah. We actually showed the video from it on a past stream, and like it's already in action. Man, I tell you, with this combined with things like universal basic income, which is coming, with automation and AI, jobs are going to disappear. It's coming. They're going to control every aspect of your life, and you will eat bugs and like it.
Yeah. You're not gonna have a choice, right? And they're pushing the farmers out of the rural areas, through fucking weather modification, it appears. You know, dude, look what's going on in the southern states, right? Like usually winters in the southern states are where you want to be, but this winter it was like, dude, y'all had an ice storm. I had an easier time in that storm than people that were south of me, and I live in northern Illinois. Like that's strange.
Like it's like you try not to get depressed or discouraged about it, but I mean it's really terrifying what's coming. You know, ugh.
And it's all going to be controlled by a bunch of billionaires too. You know what I mean? And we're not even going to be able to make money anymore. You know what I mean? That's how poor we're going to be. Is we're going to get universal basic income credits, right? So like we won't even be able to really build wealth, right? And as like people get pinched, right? And they become more and more poor, they lose their homes and shit like that. Like it's the rich super conglomerates that are able to come through and buy up that property and buy up that real estate. Those are the things that have real tangible value, right? And they'll own all those assets, and you'll enjoy your nice little cube apartment.
Well, like you said, it's going to be billionaires controlling it, and what's really scary is it's going to be people like, what our next topic is going to be. Epstein. People like that are going to have control over it.
Yeah, no,
And
that's actually a real valid point because on the Epstein stuff, without jumping too far over to there's a lot of crossover on these two topics with Epstein. So,
yeah, yeah. You got anything else you want to add to this topic, or should we jump off to Epstein? Because I know there's a
yeah,
lot there to unpack.
yeah, I'm good with jumping over there.
So I
Thank you,
got
Pickle.
let's watch this video first, and then we'll talk about some of the other stuff going on with old Jeffrey, the gift that keeps on giving. I'll tell you what, man, it's like there's two news stories: Epstein and Charlie Kirk. It's like it's never ending.
Yep.
But let's watch this. So for those that don't know, they just released another, I think it was like 3 million something files, and they actually released a list this time, and it's all the names we thought. It's all the same people. I didn't see Oprah's name on the list, which I was kind of shocked at.
Yeah, Oprah's on the list. She's on the flight logs, or not this one that they just released.
Yeah, not the one that they just released. Can hardly hear Templar. I don't know, maybe. Oh, you got your
All
mic.
right,
All right.
I'll sit closer. Thank you.
All right, let's go ahead and watch this video here. Is there no audio to this?
Yeah, there's no audio right yet. Oh, this is from the Skiff too. Shout out to the Skiff. The guy does a lot of good
So here's some of the
journalism.
names. One of the first names on there, Woody Allen.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Oh my god, fuck that guy. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, man.
Oh, dude. Oh, the things that I wish occurred to that person, dude. You know what I mean? To a fucking baby. You know what I mean? I don't want to say what he did to a baby, but just know, yes, that is exactly what he did to a baby, right? Like, no, dude. There's not a punishment that can be given to that man that is enough. That's how I feel. I'm sorry. Continue.
No, I'm gonna speed this up just a little bit here. I'll go to 1.5 times.
Yeah.
But look at Michael Jackson, Jay-Z.
Right. So, but this right here, this is some bullshit. This was the Justice Department fucking with people, right? Because this isn't the Epstein list. This is anybody who showed up in any of the documents on the Epstein documents, period. And what we know is that they got a lot of useless documents and things that talk about people and stuff. So there's names of shit, because like maybe a page of the book was discussed or some shit like that. So, and that speaks to the level of disingenuousness that the Department of Justice has about getting any kind of real justice or any real resolution for this case. Because all they did there was try to muddy the water that much more. And you like it's fucking disgusting, dude. Pam Bondi should fucking be impeached from her position. Like enough is enough.
Yeah. That's a very good point that you just made, is that just because their name is on there, it might not be in a nefarious way.
Right.
For example, I'm going to use Mr. Trump as the example here. He's mentioned in it, but they're not saying that he committed any crimes or did anything nefarious.
Yeah, they are.
Well, they're saying, but it's coming from somebody that called in a tip hotline.
Well,
and it's all third party information, like so and so said this.
There's like there are allegations on Trump, so like that are straight up allegations. There's tip line things. He's in there like 5,200 times, right? Like there are allegations. Whether they're factual and legit is one thing, but
Right.
he's in there with allegations more than some other people, right? So
Yeah.
how that works out, I don't know, but it doesn't look good. The fact that they try to hold shit back, like because there could be
like you
some
said, muddying
bogus
the
shit going
waters.
in. Yeah, exactly right. Which, by the way, Ian Carroll, right, put out this thing called Web, okay? And what they did is they took all the Epstein files, right, and all the documents, and then they vectorized them, and they basically put them in this AI program. So the information itself has been contextualized. So when you ask questions about the information, the program, the system, runs into the files and finds all of it. And it understands when you ask, like, okay, all the people who were talked about here who did this thing and blah, 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 did they do this too? And it'll understand the context of it. And then it goes and looks for that information. If you go to the Department of Justice's website and you try to search up the Epstein files, right? You could do something like Donald Trump, right? You could look up names. You can put up keywords, right? And it'll populate anytime those words come, whether they're references, repeats, important or not, right? And then you got to shift through all of that and find out what is valuable, what is accurate. But with this fucking program, like you just type in, okay, tell me all the times that Jeffrey Epstein talked about pizza, and it'll tell you every time. It'll populate the documents, right? So it'll give you a summary of what's going on, and then it gives you the actual primary documents that support that along the way. So it makes going through this shit a lot easier, which is fucking great because I mean they did everything in their power to fucking prevent people from getting to the information that's in here.
Yeah. Man, I just kind of lost my thought for a second. No, you're good. What was I gonna say? It'll come back to me. Let's play this video again here, and I put it at 1.5 speed, so it won't take up too much time here. But I mean, just everybody's on this list, man. I mean, it's frightening that this stuff has gone on for so long, and you know we've never really known about it. And we were all labeled conspiracy theorists. If you mentioned this 10 years ago, people would think you were crazy. Oh, there's an island down in the Caribbean where they go and they harvest children and all of this. And I mean, it's frightening. How are they able to do it on this scale without getting caught?
Because the documents show that everybody was involved, right?
Yeah.
Like we used to say it was a conspiracy that all the big wigs of these fucking corporations and news agencies and shit were in on this, but the Epstein emails show that that's factually the case, right? Like, and if Epstein didn't know somebody, but he wanted access, he would have an introduction made, and the guy was so much more than just a fucking sexual deviant, right? Like this guy was controlling the flow of technology and paying for stuff to be researched, and then at the same time putting the kibosh on technology and research that he didn't want to go public. So I mean, he said so many things, dude. And the fact that there's people out here like we're getting all these resignations and shit now, right? But here's the thing: is all these people knew about all this shit, right? They're only resigning or acting outraged or whatever right now because attention's on it. Right? All these years it didn't fucking matter. Nobody was like, "Oh, you were involved with Epstein there. You can't work for our company anymore." You know what I mean? They only care now because it looks bad. And then when you look at the Epstein files, you can see why. Because there's a fucking working relationship there, and these people were fucking running to Jeffrey Epstein. That if Epstein is like a fucking supervillain, dude. He is like a real villain. The guy had a fucking submarine under his bedroom so they could bail out in a fucking submarine, dude.
Yeah.
Like money's no fucking thing to that guy.
Well, what's interesting about that submarine stuff is it was Ghislaine that went and got her submarine license in order to operate it, and they would do things in international waters. Like I can't remember the name of this corporation that she started, but they never had any employees. They never did any kind of research, and she laundered money through it too.
So a lot of people, like in the files, they actually like Jeffrey Epstein, like straight up says he's a agent for Rothschild, right? And it talks about even like secret society type shit. But I'm a believer that for some reason everyone's looking at Ghislaine like like she's the help, like his girlfriend or whatever. But people are missing that her dad,
Robert
right,
Maxwell.
was the powerful guy. That she grew up in all this. She has all these connections, right? Like she helped Jeffrey make these connections. Is my point is that she wasn't the side piece. She wasn't just the girlfriend. She was very much a part of the brains of the operation. Possibly more so than Jeffrey, I don't know, but at least equally up in there.
Yeah, and why do you think we haven't seen any arrests yet?
Because they're all in on it. It's exactly why. It's because they're all involved. Dude, fucking Alan Dershowitz, right? It was Alan Dershowitz, I can't remember the name of the billionaire, Jim Acosta, and the non-conviction agreement, right? The non-prosecution agreement originally was supposed to only be for 4 people. Okay? For 4 people. And then Alan Dershowitz writes it in a way that makes it an open blanket for any co-conspirators. So something that was supposed to be for 4 gets written in the way that basically everybody else then uses as cover. Oh, there's a non-prosecutory agreement there. You can't do anything. We can't do anything. Like, bullshit, dude. And that motherfucker's involved. That should be that should be considered fraud. That should be considered like, like if you're a part of the fucking crime, you can't cover up the crime in your official capacity and then be like, sorry, you can't do anything. We already took care of that back there. Like, no, that was a part of the fucking crime. We need to throw your ass in. But it's all of them. It's all of them. Attorney General Pam Bondi, right? Like, fucking Florida was her fucking stamping ground. She was with the state's attorney's office. And from like 1996 to 2009, 2010. And then in 2011, she gets elected as the state's attorney, right? And she's there all the way until fucking Trump brings her through in his administration. She gives fucking Trump College, whatever, Trump University or whatever, a sweetheart, determent, on investigations and shit, which works out really well for Donald Trump. And like she's already showed that she's in the boys club with all the fucking Epstein shit. Like they have all the closest people. There's no, it's not a coincidence that Acosta, all these people, old boy who was in the fucking Justice Department, fat boy with the fucking glasses. You know who I'm talking about?
Bill Barr.
Bill Barr, yeah. All these people with these deep fucking Epstein connections. I mean fucking deep. But yet they're all around Epstein. Peter Thiel. Dude, Epstein started Peter Thiel, right? Like, there's just so many connections. Oh, and here's another thing, right? People are like, oh, Trump got, him and Epstein broke up in like fucking 2014, I think is when it was, right? Something like that. It was like 2 or 3 years before he went to jail. But they had this long relationship of being very good friends and knowing each other all prior to that, right? So, and another thing, Trump owns he owned a pageant, right? When you look at Jean-Luc Blou, the French dude.
Jean-Luc Brunel.
Jean-Luc Brunel, there you go, right? You look at Lex Wexner, you look at Donald Trump. All of these people owned industries where they owned pageants and shit like that, right? Girls would want to come into that operation. So, I mean, he fits the pattern and he's in there for so long, right? Like, there's even, and the Epstein files say that there's a fucking body, on the fucking golf course, right? And then over at Zorro Ranch, which, by the way, none of these guys went and even fucking raided the Zorro Ranch and shit. They're too fucking cozy because they don't want it to get looked at because it uncovers too much, which is why they threw out the documents in the way that they did, because people aren't supposed to really fucking go through them. They're not supposed to really get access to that information. And with throwing it out there, Pam Bondi's like, if survivors have information, tell us, and we're here to look for it. And then it's like, raise your hand if you're a survivor and the FBI still hasn't talked to you. And they're like, yeah, that's me. That's me. I'd fucking love to talk to him. Sorry, guys, nothing to see. We didn't see anything wrong. Everything's great. Epstein was a great fucking guy. Like, dude. And I'm glad that
103.
Yeah.
One of the other things that Epstein wanted was like he wanted his DNA and a part of everybody or something like that. So he was doing some weird shit, and it was scary.
Baby birthing.
Like you think about how he was like, a big part of like MIT and these big schools and everything. They all looked to this dude.
Yep.
You mentioned that what was it called, Web or something?
Yeah.
Is that so? Did you see? They're calling it J-mail. Have you seen this?
Yeah. So J-mail is basically they've taken the documents and the email and they've compiled it in a system that looks exactly like Gmail, but it's Jeffrey Epstein's account. So you can go there and you can go down his email list because it's been sorted out by days and time sent and names and stuff. So you can actually go through, like if you're in his inbox. That's another great way to go look at that. Everybody should go check out the Epstein files.
I'm looking for it right
You guys
now.
think these people ever get punished? I don't. Yeah, I don't think so, Poppy. Unfortunately, I don't. I mean, we're going on the better part of a decade. If there was going to be justice, there would be. We're watching shit in the UK and in Germany and places where, or the Netherlands, where this is flipping shit upside down. This matters, right? There's people are being held accountable and being scrutinized. But here in the United States, they're just like, nothing to see here. I couldn't find anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Show this up.
Yeah, let me blow this up here. This is the Gmail, and you can see it's just like a Gmail, and this is Jeffrey Epstein's supposed email. This is what it would look like. And you've got all kinds of stuff over here that you can search through. There's topics. You can search, type in any kind of keyword. And I mean, it's really incredible what they've done with this. I mean, ugh. But it's a great way to, if you want to check out the files. Let me do this real quick. If anybody wants to check this out, I'm going to show the web address here, and you can go here and check it out for yourselves. Boom, right there, https://gmail.world, and you can check this out for yourself.
And then when you're done checking that out, just swing on over to the phonebooth.substack.com and check out all of our amazing people and their podcasts. And you can swing by here, the merch store. And don't forget, people, one lucky person has the ability to get one of these shirts today. Just retweet the stream. Make sure that you are a subscriber on Substack. It's free. It doesn't cost you a thing, dude. Literally, you just click, enter your email, and you're a part of it. You get access to tons of free content, right? But go over there, look at what shirt or coffee mug you want, and if you have it tweeted out or not tweeted out, you have it retweeted. You got the Substack, and you enter in under Son of a Cock. You live in the U.S. or somebody who's in the U.S. You can get whatever shirt you want.
Oh man, there's a lot of stuff, coming out in these files, like cannibalism and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught on Saturday on the live stream, we talked about this cannibal club that people join, and it's like $150,000 to join, and you can get human meat. And we also found out that cannibalism is legal in 49 states.
Yeah, I think it's all but 2.
Well, the other day I read the only state that it's illegal in is Idaho.
Oh, fuck, so only 1. Fuck,
So
it's still bad though, right?
It kind of makes you wonder what the hell happened in Idaho where they had to make a law,
Well, what the fuck happened where it's not a law? How is that not a law? If you desecrate a body, I mean, it's a crime. I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer eating people. I mean, Jesus, people, what is going on? Be aware, just because someone's name. Yes, absolutely. Agreed, Dead Game. That is very true. Just because their name is mentioned, But, if you go on to something like Web or whatever, you can also see the rest of the information on why they're mentioned, all the other areas, what type of allegations are against them, things like that. But this whole investigation has been a shit show because there's allegations, but then there's no real follow-up investigation because everybody wanted this to go away, And they're like, oh, dude's crazy. He's talking about fucking, kids getting fucking eaten on an island or whatever. That's fucking crazy talk. No, motherfucker, that happened. But you didn't investigate, and you just assumed that was some crazy shit, and then you downplayed it and you down-talked it, and now nobody looked at it,
Have you heard the theory that Q was Epstein?
Yeah, dude. So check this out. Ghislaine Maxwell, right, was the #1 fucking posted Reddit user, right? Jeffrey Epstein went and met with the creator of 4chan And he's the one who got the poll, the R poll or whatever they call it, started. So, and then that is where Q and all that came through. So, the proximity of Epstein with 4chan really starts to, and the knowledge of the information that was being communicated, right? Like really starts to make sense. Like, I get it. Now this makes sense. So I think there's a lot there, and it would also make sense on why Q was all about having people sit on their hands, right? Like fucking, but also knew this kind of information as it leaked out.
Why aren't more people pissed off and demanding answers from him supposedly killing himself? It's pretty clear that the official story is shit. I mean, what are the odds that the cameras stop working at the exact time, the guards happen to not be there? One thing that's always driven me crazy about this is they say that he hung himself with, the jumpsuits or whatever you call them.
Right.
But anybody that's ever been to jail knows that they do not give you that many. You get one, maybe they give you two. So how the hell did he have, how they say he had a bunch of them in there?
Well, let's add to that, because prior to Jeffrey Epstein killing himself, he was on suicide watch, right? So two
Yeah.
things happened. One, he had his cellmate tried to attack him. There was that. But then two, he was on suicide watch. And so when you're on suicide watch, they put you in this like fucking paper fucking hospital gown looking thing, right? And they have to check on you to make sure that you're not killing yourself. So how does a guy on suicide watch not have the paper gown? Like what's going on there?
Yeah. I don't understand what this means.
Where am I getting my information from? Boy, oh boy, you're gonna be. I'm getting my information literally from the Epstein files. What information are you refuting in relation? What?
Yeah. So I wanna bring this up real quick, because everybody remembers when Pizzagate was just a conspiracy theory,
Right.
and now apparently there's more truth to it than we were told. But the guy that went to that Comet Ping Pong, let me read this. Jeffrey Epstein file release has resurfaced the fact that Edgar Madison Welch, the man who claims children were being trafficked in Comet Pizza in Washington, D.C. by the most powerful people in the world, was killed by police during a traffic stop on January 6th, 2025, while being a free man after serving his sentence. Welch was sentenced to 5 years prison by Judge Katani Brown Jackson for shooting Comet Pizza in 2017, which was 5 also years before she became Supreme Court judge. I'll play this video here. It's short, so I'm not sure what's in it, but so I want to mute the track there, because although that's a lovely song, I don't want to get flagged on YouTube.
So one of the first things I did when I had access to web was I went and I was looking for James Alefantes
Okay.
to see if he was mentioned anywhere in the Epstein files. I wanted to see if there was anything that connected Pizzagate, and unfortunately, there wasn't at all. He wasn't in there. Unfortunately. However, here's something interesting about that guy who went into Comet Ping Pong. Right? He shot one shot. Right? So makes you wonder: did he really even shoot? Because one shot got fired, and it just miraculously went through the office, or was in the office and hit the fucking computer and hit the hard drive of the computer in the office.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Super convenient, right? And then after that, they start saying that they don't have a basement. But yet they were advertising that they can, they make and they can their, your comment about who Q is. I really don't care about Q because we're not gonna know until like things come out, right? Like everybody thinks like, oh, like this whole sit on your hands and wait shit. Like, what are we waiting for if there's a Q, right? Like if he's there, let's fucking see it. Like that's really what I'm saying. We can see through the documents that Jeffrey Epstein, sets up poll, right? So he has access to the location where this information comes out at. He has the kind of information that would be getting released there, right? So he would be a prime candidate to be, Q. Or it could have been one of his lackeys or henchmen. I'm just saying, personally, I don't buy into the thing that, there's this white hat, dark hat kind of thing going on, but if I'm okay with being wrong too, like fucking, but I don't subscribe to it.
Well, one of the things that come out in the emails was the theory resurfaced that Biden was actually killed by firing squad in 2019, which Donnie T has posted on Truth Social about that. What do you think about that?
I think Trump he has been very aware of the MAGA crowd and the Q crowd, right? Like,
Hmm.
how could he not? So I think he plays into it. And he knows what he's doing when he shares those things and that he's rallying up that base, right? And I think he plays to that. But I don't know if Biden was or wasn't killed, right? I doubt he was killed, but you know, uh but again, right? Like the concept is that what we have to slow drip all of this stuff out to you, and now we've slow dripped it out to you, but like what are we still waiting for then, right? Like everybody knows about pedophile island, everybody knows that they were fucking eating kids, everybody understands the information's out. What are we waiting for at that point?
Do you think the common folk can handle it all once they
Yes.
realize?
Yes. As a matter of fact, one of the worst things that this fucking country ever got into was after the Kennedy assassination, this thing of what the country is able to accept, right? Like that's how they fuck with people's heads. Like this idea that we know better than you. You're not able to handle this. You're not ready for this. Bullshit. The American people can deal with a lot more fucking shit. Like we get treated and we allow ourselves to get talked to and treated by the government like we're in a fucking first grade or a kindergarten class, right? Yes. Give the fucking how dare the fucking government that's supposed to serve the people think that they have the authority to tell you what you can and you cannot handle. Fuck you. Let me decide. Tell me the information. I'll figure it out. If I find it important, I'll pay more attention to it. If I don't find it important, I'll fucking blow it off and go wherever, right? But at the same point, what do they mean they can't handle it? Like they're gonna want accountability? That they're gonna be like with pitchforks and fucking torches and be like, let's burn these bitches, right? Because I could also understand that mindset of they want motherfuckers to go to jail, right? Like accountability is important. So yes, and when I hear that aliens, whatever it is, yes, the American people can handle whatever the truth is. We all live darker, grittier lives, right? Like we live in the real fucking world, right? So we all know what reality is. And to pretend like, we can't deal with these concepts because, like we're kindergartners, that's yeah, I don't subscribe to that. And I think we should all consistently push back on that type of mentality when they try to push that shit on us. Like, fuck you, that's not your job, dude. Your job is to tell me what's up, and I'll make
Yeah,
that determination.
it's interesting. Two things you mentioned: aliens, and they just the Trump administration just announced the other day that they're planning on doing a disclosure, and I believe they set a date of May 1st for this. Um, and then Barack Obama was just on a podcast just within the last few days, and he basically admitted that they do have aliens off world. I forget the term he used, off world vehicles or something like that. Do you think that's just a distraction from these
Yes.
files?
Yes, I think we have badass technology, right? Like I think we have fucking what we would consider fucking spaceships, right? Our fucking government has as fucking mobility, right? We just don't use them in wars and shit like that, but we have the technology there, right? And I think that they're fucking with people, right? So the eyes are opening, right? The normies are paying attention to shit that the normies shouldn't be paying attention to. Bring out the aliens, right? Bring out the centralized threat so everybody can come together against the aliens, right? And what else is going to take everybody's attention off the evil fucking leaders that have shown that they don't have our interest in mind, right? The aliens. Because then we got to reach back and say, hey, government, hey, evil fucking people, can you save us from the aliens?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know. It's like
plus there's no fucking outer space, so where the fuck are these aliens coming from? You know what I
beyond
mean?
the ice wall.
Right. Yeah, maybe. But even that, I think that's us, because fucking Germany and shit. Did you see, like, after World War II, when the Germans were like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And they got in a bunch of subs and ships and shit, and they went south. So, you know, I'm certain that at minimal, there's fucking some kind of crazy ass base in Antarctica, at least from that time, if there's not shit from fucking God knows how long before then, you know?
Well, I got some more stuff I want to pull up with the Epstein stuff,
Yeah,
but
pull
since
it
we're
up.
talking about this Antarctica stuff right now, I want to pull up this thing right here.
Yep, the New World Order. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, let me get this video queued up. So it says here, Google Earth 2020. Do you believe that such places exist hidden from us mere mortals, and that only the false elites, the usurpers, have the right to be there? A glitch, a resort for hybrids or reptilians. So somebody using Google Earth was able to zoom far into Antarctica here. Let's watch this video.
So I wanted to share this with you guys. So I'm over here in Antarctica looking on Google Earth. And if you just come to this side right here, okay, you click on that to look at like street view and watch this. What the hell? They got a whole city up in here. Check that out. Look at that. Now, what the heck is going on? The green grass, trees. I thought nobody could live here.
Are those fucking maples and shit?
Yeah.
So,
I wanted to share this with you.
Here's my thing. I use Google Earth a lot. For him to be able to just like zoom in on just a place of like space and go into street view doesn't seem legit to me, because you know what I mean, how he goes into that spot. So I'm wondering, like, one, how they, you know, like found that spot, or if it's not.
Well,
like,
I
edited
tried Google
placement.
Earth myself, and I wasn't able to get that. You know, that doesn't
Plus,
mean it's not
the
true.
variety of those
but
trees in there, you got like fucking maples, you got pine trees, you got a variety of things that I don't know would necessarily be in Antarctica necessarily.
yeah. Well, if you remember, Admiral Byrd, when he explored Antarctica, he said that he went in and saw, you know, green vegetative state,
Yeah.
you know, lush and beautiful like that. So, and it's like, you know, why don't they let people go there? You know, it's about protecting the penguins. I mean,
I don't know, that guy who just went there and was streaming or whatever, and then
like
the
with the
captain, you know,
Starlink.
took away
Yeah.
his thing or whatever. Yeah, Starlink, right? So you can't even get the signal beamed down to you from outer space, right? Like they do, because they're doing data, right? They're doing research. They got to communicate some way. So the fact that it's on, why is it so locked down? Why can't you go look and go anywhere special? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's because they just do enough to say that you can go there, so then they can debunk that you can't go to Antarctica. You know, like, and then nobody ever looks into this shit. Like, what are the prohibitions if you go? You know,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
they give people like what was the name of those fucking lames that went there that everybody was like, yeah, you guys go and tell us about the 24-hour sun. And then
Yeah,
that
the
thing turned into
final
like a
experiment.
fucking, yeah, that turned into like a clusterfuck. So regardless what is or isn't true, nobody trusts that fucking experiment because it was done in a way where motherfuckers' egos and shit got in there and it just got real fucked up. And it's like, wait, there's fuckery going on here, and your breath and no breath and the background. And so, what are we doing?
And even if they really did go there and witness this 24-hour sun, it's still entirely possible on a, in a firmament or a flat earth scenario, because the sun, depending on the type of season, moves north and south. So if it's in the south, you could still get a 24-hour sun down there. So I don't think it really proved anything.
No,
Mhm.
they messed around with too much, and that's what's unfortunate. You know what I mean? Because I think people were hoping like, okay, we're gonna get some data. Even the way, do you remember like when they came back, like the way they were gonna release everything? Like they wanted to like fucking slow drip it and only give this and not access to that. It, just give
Yeah.
the data. Let the data speak for itself. If it's factual data, it doesn't matter what it means because it speaks for itself. Whether you like the information or not, it's legit. So just throw it the fuck out there. But they wouldn't do that. They playing all these games. Like
Yeah.
it's a waste,
It's,
unfortunately.
it's crazy that that's the only point in the world where every nation agrees not to fuck with each other.
Right. Right. Yeah. Everybody can't agree on shit on this planet, but we can all agree not to fucking go to Antarctica. Right? Nobody gets to go to Antarctica. And oh boy, and you just happen to have fucking Rothschild Island and shit. Like this dude can own a fucking island over there, but nobody else. Dude, just stop.
So speaking of Rothschild, and this ties back into Epstein stuff, in the files, I'll read this and then I'll play the video. Epstein emails revealed the hunted African Americans at night at their island for fun. Thrilling Hunt says Ariane de Rothschild going to mean Lana's party now to hunt. So I'm not going to read this last sentence. Well, I'll read part of it. Epstein emails has them saying thanks, Thrilling Hunt, and guess what? They're N words. But let's see this video. It's short, but I guess these are the emails in the video here. But they're clearly talking about hunting human beings. So, I mean, it's just like it's not for someone with a weak stomach to read these emails and stuff,
No.
you know.
Yeah. Epstein was so much more than a pedophile. He was all that and a lot fucking more. And I don't think people recognize how important, I guess, he was, right? I mean, dude, the Saudi prince and all these people are going to his fucking island, like they're all under his thumb. The Saudi
Mhm.
prince is considered a fucking sovereign. You know what I mean? Like you don't touch that guy, you don't make eye contact, etc. But fucking he's jumping through hoops for Jeffrey Epstein. That should tell you something about the magnitude of power that guy had, or access or control to things, and was able to bring things in, like it just, dude.
I wish so. I went to the Virgin Islands in, was it 2018? I think is when I went, and so I stayed in St. Thomas for a few days, and then I went to, there's another island called Water Island, which is right. It's actually in between St. Thomas and Little St. James, and so I camped in the jungle there. It's a small, tiny island. There's about 75 people live on the island, and it's referred to as Biden Island. And um, Biden, I guess, has visited there, and his brother has two pieces of land there, but there's no buildings built on it. And I wish I would have known more when I was there. I would have definitely investigated a little bit more, because I could have very easily hopped in a boat and went by Little St. James while I was there, and just to see what was going on. I didn't know at the time I could see Little St. James from Water Island where I was. I didn't know that at the time.
So interesting thing that you mentioned. Biden actually has a island down in the Virgin Islands. Okay, and James Alefantes, the guy from Pizzagate of Comet Ping Pong, his social media was filled, filled with the fucking reef and an island that's right next door to Little St. James. So while he's not connected to Little St. James and he doesn't own an island, right? He was constantly posting pictures and hashtags and shit of, I can't remember what the name of the fucking coral joint is and all that, right? But all these guys are down here in this place, right? And they got fucking safe houses and nobody's really looking at anything, they get to run amok.
Yeah. Dead Game, are you saying that Biden owns Water Island? Because that is not true. Like I said, there's about 75 people that live there. And there's a really cool little place called Honeymoon Beach. And they have yeah, James Biden bought. No, he bought 2 pieces of property on the island, but they've never built anything there. So he does not own the whole island. But yeah, I mean, it was a cool little place. I stayed right there near Honeymoon Beach, and I camped in like this little. It wasn't like a sleeping bag or anything. I had a bed, and it's like a little hut. It's got like screens, and I'll tell you what, it was scary, man. It would get real windy, and the like wood beams would just start flapping. I was like, oh man. But it's a beautiful place, man. I'd love to go back. And
What years were you there?
2018 I was there.
Okay.
And what's crazy is there is a real pizza place that uses Little St. James address. And it's a pizza by boat. They deliver pizzas by boat. And
that's one of the places that is Epstein's favorite pizza joints. It's the only place out there. Everything else is right there in like fucking New York and whatnot. I did a thing on that, but yeah, you're right. It's one of the very few things. And then they own a whole section of that island over there where they have these little fucking restaurants and fucking joints and shit and safe houses. But sorry, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, it's nuts. Here's another video that I want to bring up here. And again, I'll read it first before we watch the video, and I'll probably do the video at 1.5 times because it's 6 minutes long. But Jeffrey Epstein's final phone call was to his mother. But the problem is she passed away 15 years prior. The Epstein files exposed an alleged plot of Epstein being transported out of prison before his death, an FBI agent taking the security tapes and allegedly using a fake or replacement body. The story gets even weirder. So who did he really call? And was this the green light to execute his escape and fake death? What's interesting is there was a guy on Reddit that talked about this stuff, and he was verified in the Epstein files release. So what he said was absolutely true.
Did you see his the guy, the prisoner from that place, tell you about how the story of Epstein killing himself has to be bullshit? Like, because he was there, so he was explaining like how the guards, the way the system is set, there's not a lot of guards that run the whole thing, right? So that 2 guards could not be sleeping because they would have to give the head count back to central control, right? And if you don't reach out to central control at certain times with the head counts, they reach out to you to make sure that you're okay. And then if they get no response from you, the whole place goes on lockdown because they think that you've been taken hostage or killed. Right? So then what happens is then they send in SWAT to check out that area to make sure that you haven't been taken hostage or whatever. So that there's no way in the world that somebody just fucking like slept through the night. Like that's not how the operation works. and he walks through all of that. But anyways, so
Yeah. So Snoop's Concordia 2026 edition. Now I'm pretty much a dummy. What's a Concordia?
it's a companion.
Oh, okay. Creme de la Creme also says the body being Hillary Clinton's bro was a total brotherhood lie and it went viral as fuck.
Yeah.
They also said it was what's his name, Anthony Bourdain's body too, which I don't know if I buy that. Um, you know, I think it's definitely clear that it wasn't Jeff. You know, it is
Did
definitely you
did
know
you see the thing from the guard or the cop, the dude who was like, dude, they fucking switched out his body, and he was freaked the fuck out,
no,
because he didn't know who to talk to. It's in the Epstein files.
yeah.
Dude from the thing claims that they switched out the body, and he goes through detail on how it was done, and he submits that to the FBI. And he says that he thinks that there's people in the FBI who were fucking compromised. But could you imagine
Absolutely,
that?
they have to be. They have
Yeah.
to be. And not only them, it's the other three-letter agencies as well. They all have to be compromised. What's okay? Let me ask. Speaking of this, let me ask. What's your take on? There's a theory that military intelligence is really in control of everything. They've known about all this stuff, and they've basically taken control over even the presidency, and they installed Trump because he was the only one that could help pull this off. But military intelligence is supposedly in control, and if the theory is true that Biden was executed, they're in control of everything. What do you
So
think of that?
I think that if that is the case, then we have a really we have even a bigger problem on our hands, right?
Okay.
Because if that's the case, that means that the US Constitution has been completely usurped, right? 100%. That not only is everything sad, but even the basic structure, like for the citizenry to be represented in any fashion whatsoever. I mean, it's just broken. They're so outside. It wouldn't even be a fucking noble thing for the military to do. You know what I mean? Like, but I think it's possible that no matter which way it is, that fucking the military runs shit, because you can't create a technology without the fucking military being involved or knowing, right? Because they got to have a threat assessment on it, and if it's something that they can utilize as a weapon or a function or whatever, they want first dibs on it, right? So they could shut your ass down. So they know everything that fucking happens. I think they're probably tapped in with all of this. They're a part of it for sure. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like they learned everything and then they took over and now they're slow leaking it to the population. I don't subscribe to that part, but fuck
Well,
if that is the case.
it'll be real interesting to see what happens with this voter fraud stuff. Like they just came out in Arizona and they basically are proving that 74,000 something ballots are invalid because they were never sent out, but they were sent back. So, and then there's some stuff going on in Georgia, which I don't know too much about the Georgia scenario, but being as I'm in Arizona, I've been paying attention a little bit to the Arizona one. So it's interesting, if some of the theories are true, that they allowed this to happen only to catch the DNC in, this tomfoolery. We'll see. But we got to do
Well, if that
we
well,
got to
if I
do
may,
hashtag son of a cock. We got to get that ball rolling.
oh yeah. So again, make sure that if you're gonna enter, if you want to be a part of this, uh, you're gonna have to put hashtag son of a cock, um, in there, and then you're going to have to make sure that you reposted the stream, and then just make sure that you are subscribed to phonebook.substack.com. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. You literally can sign up almost at a push of a button because I think you can just like link it to your Google or your fucking email if you choose to.
Yeah,
But it
it's
doesn't
real
cost you a
easy.
thing. And you get all this like free shit and there's tons of ways to navigate the content. Plus, like you get access to shit over there early too. So
That's right. The Here's the Thing podcast comes out a couple days early for subscribers, and then it gets live to the free subscribers on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. But Let me see if I can pull off this son of a cock without messing it up.
All right.
Let me see here. So everybody's got 2 minutes to enter. Get your hashtag son of a cock in and get your chance to win a t-shirt of your choice, courtesy of the beautiful Templar.
Right. Or if you want the coffee mug.
Or the coffee mug. I hope we start selling our own branded coffee. I pitched the idea, and there's a website where you can get your own branded coffee made. So that may be something coming in the near future.
Dude, maybe I should just create a brand of coffee just called Flat Earth Coffee. I bet you the name alone would fucking sell.
I can dig it.
Let's do it. One minute left, people. 1 minute left. Let's see what we got over here. While that's going on, we can look at some of these comments. Subscribe to the Substack. That's right. Yes. Down here. All right. So that's trending. London is the bank. Vatican is your religion, and DC is your war machine. We are occupied by a foreign government. Of course, military is involved with usurping such treason. If I'm not in stream chat, I've watched it early on phonebooth.substack.com. Yeah, appreciate you, Graham. And Joshua and Squigs. Dead Game. Here we go.
All right.
Here we go.
All right, let me see if I can go back to this. All right. Oops. Maybe I have to be in that. There.
Street Fighter. Ready.
Hang on. Oh,
Player 1.
why is it not? Why is it not doing a spin? Supposed to.
We're trying to do the spinny thingy, folks.
Where in the hell is it? Is it this one? No. Should be under layers. Let me see here.
And we're back.
Why is it not here? It just pulls that
Good luck,
up.
suckers. Good night.
They messed up, man. Shit. Topic 1.
I'm so glad that you at least.
Okay, here we go. I got it now.
Do we gotta wait for the 2 minutes to have it go through, or are we?
No, we already did that. So I'm gonna do this now. Okay, here we go. Now I got it. So here we go with the contest.
All right. Good luck, guys.
And then
again, if you're out of the U.S., you can have it sent to somebody in the U.S. for you.
Who's it gonna be?
The Picklish Podcast.
The Picklish?
The Picklish
is in.
Podcast.
The Pick is in podcast.
Oh, the pick is in. Oh, shit.
Haywood,
I thought it said
Haywood.
pickles. Da-da-da-da-da.
So Haywood is the winner.
Oh, that's funny. What's up, Haywood? Well, that's perfect. Just hit me up and I'll send you the. Tell me which one you want and give me your details and we'll send it over.
Hopefully he's still here. So we'll give him a minute or two, and then if he doesn't respond, we'll
the
pick
pick is
another.
in. We'll. Yep, he's here. So,
Is he? Okay.
Yep, right down there. He's watching on YouTube. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Fucking. By the way, dude, Haywood is a fucking champ, dude. Haywood reminds me, like, when you have like young producers and shit in the industry, you have just like those fucking people who are out there and just like fucking go getters. Like that is Haywood. Haywood is like this motherfucker runs circles around people. I love you, Haywood. Just so you know, I do. I'm a huge fucking fan of you, dude. I think I think the world of you, buddy. So I'm glad you won.
Well, that makes one of us, but
That's right.
come on, pick a topic, Haywood.
That kid is a hustler.
What you want it to be? You want to talk about Ted's mom? We'll talk about Ted's mom. Hey, and you know what? If anybody wants to get a Here's the Thing podcast hat, you can just DM me and we'll get you one sent out, $35, or you can click on the UPC code up here in the corner. As you can see, there's 4 of them, one for Ted, Vince, Jonah, and myself. And if you click on mine, it goes right to my Cash Apps, and $35, and I can mail you out a hat if you're interested.
Right on. And you got that hardcore leather on it, right? That's not that cheap shit?
Yeah, look at this. I mean, it's a nice leather patch.
Yeah, actually stitched on and shit. Yeah, look at that, dude. Even the hat itself, you can see it's not like some chintzy bullshit.
Yeah, and so this is one that was specially made for me with the pink and gray. I have a black on black, so it'll be black mesh and then black here with the same leather patch. So if you're interested, let me know. What do you need me to repeat, Graham? I don't have much.
Bob Lazar movie. I don't know.
Is Epstein alive? Well, I mean, I guess we can keep talking about Epstein. I mean, we've been talking about it. What do you think? He's alive?
Yeah, probably.
And Haywood, you better pick the damn Here's the Thing podcast shirt.
Yeah, I think he's alive and out, and I don't think Ghislaine is in jail, right? I think definitely by the time they moved her, she was let go, so she's off. Like you're not gonna have a guy like fucking Jeffrey Epstein. Even when he was in jail, the files show they weren't even making him be in fucking jail for the time he was supposed to be in jail at night, and they let him do. So yeah, dude, no. Most likely that guy is alive. Most likely Ghislaine is alive. Most likely they're still doing shit, and that's my view though. I don't have any concrete evidence on that, so that's my speculation.
Yeah, Cram, if you're interested, like I said, click on the UPC code for me and send 35, and I'll get it mailed out to you first thing tomorrow morning.
Is Anthony Guthrie more important than Epstein? No, and I don't even know why that is a story. Like they're forcing that fucking story down people's throats. Like,
well, do you know why? Do you know who she is, right? She was the last person to interview Virginia Giuffre or whatever before she unalived herself. And that's
which the timing on that, right? Because first she got hit by a fucking bus, right? Remember that? But she survived that somehow. And then she still says, she's like, hey, I don't think that was an accident. And, I'm not suicide. And then she kills herself. And then once she kills herself, then all this fuckery with the Epstein, it happens just before Ghislaine's fucking trial or thing for Congress is going to come up. And, right at the end of the timing for the Epstein files. And then everyone like Alan Dershowitz now gets to like talk in this fucking unchallenging way, like, because she's not here to refute him anymore. Right.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to point out, Cram, if you don't have Cash App and you don't want to use that, you can go to my profile on X and there's the tip button and there's a link to my Venmo on there as well. If you have Venmo or if you want to use Cash App, just let me know and I'll get it sent out to you. I want to pull up this Ghislaine thing right here.
Yeah.
Can prison change someone's appearance? Yes, but can it make your nose shorter and change your facial structure? No, this is not the same person. Like, let's look at this. Play this video real quick. I guess there's no audio. But, yeah, I mean...
That's not her. That's her. These other 3 are her. That is not her. There's no fucking way that is her. That is fucking not her. That's her. Not her. See? Look at that. Just no fucking way.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Eyes, the nose, the mouth, the chin, the jawline. You know, just every fucking thing about it. Like, they were just like, here, we'll give short black hair and the general look. And nobody's really gonna fucking think twice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like,
Look at that
Biden.
mouth. The fucking chick, she looks like she's a big mouth fucking bass in that picture. Look at that.
Like one of those ones that jumps off the wall and sings to you.
Yeah. Don't worry.
But it's the same thing with Biden. Like it looks like he was replaced too. If you look at older photos and videos of him compared to newer, they don't look like the same person. And then there was that one giant Biden they rolled out that one time. Remember that?
Yeah, it looks like they were definitely doing a lot of like fucking body doubling with Biden. They were doing fucking AI with Biden. They were doing all kinds of weird shit with Biden. And was it because he's dead, or was it because the guy was basically a fucking a mental vegetable or whatever, and everybody else around him was actually running shit, so they just had to do things to keep the game going. But yeah, there's so much fucked up shit with Biden.
So much fuckery. Yeah, I mean, I tend to believe that Epstein is alive somewhere, and it's pretty easy for them. In fact, one of the documents that I saw the other day talks exactly about how to escape from it all, and you have plastic surgery ready, have your hideout place ready to go, and like
if I got caught, or if you get caught, yeah, the contingencies. Keep going.
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty crazy. I was looking to see if I had that
saved?
post. Yeah, I don't know if I do.
Yeah.
Damn. So let me read this to people too. The whole Pam Bondi thing. Remember when she testified to Congress the other day? They were asking her, why haven't any arrests been made? And she said, well, let's talk about the Dow. But so now this is coming out here. I'll just read it to people. I don't have to pull it up. The Trump team just executed the greatest trap in political history, and Congress walked right into it. This week, Attorney General Pam Bondi sat before the House Judiciary Committee, standard oversight hearing, routine questions. Then she pulled out a document labeled Jayapal Pramila, Search History. The room went silent. Here's what happened. The DOJ gave Congress access to the unredacted Epstein files this week. Every member got their own login, their own computer, their own session. What Congress didn't know, the DOJ was tracking every single search. How could they not know that? Every name they looked up, every document they opened, every file they downloaded, all of it logged, and then brought the receipts to the hearing. The panic was instant. Representative Jayapal called it spying on members of Congress. Representative Raskin accused Bondi of blatant abuse of power. Representative said it was suspicious and inappropriate. I mean,
the information in there is accurate, but you know what I don't like is I read that thing. That guy wrote that with fucking AI.
Yeah.
That whole AI presentation. He didn't even add an extra touch, but but yeah, you're right. I agree with it. All the information's right.
Yeah. I got one more thing that I want to bring up. It's off topic, but it's just a really good video that Biff Don posted, whom if you don't follow, give Biff Don a follow. Is at Quantum Altered X, and this guy's always putting out great content.
Dude, yeah. It'll make you think, plus it's entertaining as fuck. But yeah, it's some of the coolest content that I keep in my feed.
And so he posted this really cool little video that was made by Timeline Junkie AI. And let me pull it up and we can watch it.
1.5 billion.
Well, now that's just insane.
These fucking vultures are trying to pluck my eyes out.
Have you talked to Rudy yet?
Rudy was the one who told me.
That's the price. I mean, what do you want me to say? It's 1.5. It's just what it is.
This is just... When big things move, all parties have to be mutually, Well, it goes without saying, somebody is incredibly miffed you made that
Miffed?
deal.
My guys told me 150 million tops. If I can't get that shit out of those walls for less than 1.5 billion, I'm fakakta. You understand? I never should have listened to you.
I never told you to buy 2 towers of Babel filled with asbestos. Nothing in New York real estate is that easy. You weren't buying a fucking deli.
I don't have 1.5. I need that shit out of the walls, or I need those buildings
Which
gone.
I told you is never gonna happen. The demolition will probably cost more than it did to build the fucking things.
See? Fakakta. At this point, it costs less to get someone to fly fucking planes into the building and collect the insurance.
For that, you'd need terrorism insurance.
I'll call you back. Deborah!
I'm right here, sir.
Oh, I need you to find out what kind of terrorism insurance we've got on those piece of shit towers.
Mr. Vice President, I've got an interesting idea I'd like to propose to you.
Did somebody order a false flag operation?
Get him whatever he wants. I just want him to feel like he's part of the team. Just pull it already.
And then when France doesn't join, we're gonna call them Freedom Fry.
So, I found this fucking passport over there. It's kind of burnt up, but not too bad, considering it came from a fucking plane crash, am I right? And, not for nothing, but I already checked it. And it's a fucking Saudi Arabian guy. It's definitely probably one of the terrorists. You know, because, well, I mean, fucking come on here.
Even enemies need to agree sometimes.
And if you call it the global war on terrorism, I mean terrorism can be anywhere. So now you can fight everywhere. It's gonna be great. So that's the plan so far. Be honest. What do you guys think?
I'll tell you, Dick, Daddy's gonna think this is just so cool, you know? It's like getting the band back together.
It's pretty good, man. You know, I guess AI does have some good uses.
Yeah, if used properly.
One
When
of the other
movies
things,
create content better than Hollywood. Right, right.
one of the other things Haywood mentioned here was the Bob Lazar documentary. What do you think about Bob Lazar?
I think Bob Lazar has a lot of credibility. I think he talked about shit well before it was publicly known. Even what was the element 451 or whatever the hell it is? You know what I'm
Pentium.
talking about? Yeah.
Element 115 or
Yeah.
114. Yeah.
Like he's talking about shit long before we even acknowledged its existence, right? And he was pointing, he was showing people where flights were. So yeah, I think the stories he tells is true. Like I think he has way more legitimacy behind him than a lot of people. You know, there's just way
Well,
too much.
that's the one thing, you know, was that element. He talked about it in the 80s. 1986, I believe, is when he started going public. And then was it 2000? I don't know what year, 2000 something. They added Pentium to the table of elements. So that right there, I think, gives some credibility. Why? How?
And he was taking people up in the mountains, showing them where to look over the lake so people could see, and then they moved back. So he knew the times and the
Yep.
days when this stuff was going to be going on. And the government went through the headache of trying to deny his credentials that he ever worked for them. It wasn't it's only through like side information that we're able to fucking verify everything that he is who he said he was, even regardless. So that, I think, adds credibility to the guy
How is he still alive?
because he went public and they marginalized him, so they smeared him, right? They made him look like the crazy guy, and what he was saying was kind of radical anyways. So it was able to be marginalized enough that he wasn't an actual threat, right? He wasn't the information he was giving out. There was enough plausible deniability in there that he was just a fucking kook, and the majority of people just looked past it.
Yeah. His first interview was with the legendary George Knapp. And
Yeah.
I had Clive Christopher was on Here's the Thing a few weeks ago, and he's friends with George Knapp. I'm hoping maybe he can get me in touch with them. I'd love to pick his brain.
Dude, that would be a cool conversation. Yeah, Knapp's been in the game for fucking ever, and I learned of him when I used to listen to Art Bell on AM Coast to
Sure.
Coast, and he was on there all the time. He had
I
he
knew him
had
because
a
he was our local
segment.
newscaster in Vegas, when I lived there.
Yep. Yeah, and he would run the UFO stories and shit like that, like the stuff that the normal news wouldn't. Knapp's News or some shit, I think it was called.
Yeah. There are no aliens, only demons. That's most likely what it is. I mean, you know. I
Yep.
I really hope that one day, we do get the truth. I think part of the reason they don't give us the truth is because it will fuck up people's religious beliefs. There's a lot of people that have a lot of faith in you know, their religion, whatever one it may be. And if you come out with some of this stuff, it changes the whole belief structure. Are you vaping?
Yep.
Oh, Templar.
I know, you nannied me on this one time in the background.
Oh,
Woohoo. You'll get over it.
I don't want you to get the popcorn lung,
I
dude.
know, I know, I know. I get it.
Oh man. Well, you got anything else you want to talk about, Templar? I mean, we're just about at time here. We got a few minutes.
Yeah. No. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us and like letting us do this show with you guys.
Yeah, it's been fun, and people be on the lookout because these Mondays, we're gonna rotate people in and out. So, this week we had us. A couple weeks ago we had Jonah and I. Last week I believe was Ted and Laz. So we're gonna kind of keep it rotated and keep it funky. So you never know what you're gonna get on mainstream Mondays.
And the other thing, like small accounts, we're always still looking at people and shit. If you got something important you want to share, you want put on one of these things or something, like send that shit out. If it's cool, if whatever, like that's how this shit rolls. Fucking everyone's in it together.
What is this dead game? Popcorn lung was from idiots and vitamin E acetate. I don't know what that means.
So
Like,
when they were making the fucked up weed pens and shit, right? The shit that they were making inside, he's saying that that was the chemical that they were adding to it that was making popcorn lung, not the vapes
well,
commonly. But I don't know.
the original popcorn lung came from when they make microwavable popcorn. They put the butter on the insides of the bags, and I guess in the factory, the workers started developing this popcorn lung from whatever
The
that
chemical.
chemical was. Yeah, and supposedly that's the same thing that's in these vapes. So I don't know. I would rather just hit the flower myself than a weed pen, you know. But and in fact, I never really get like the good head high from a pen that I do from the flower. And it hurts my throat and it's just I don't know. I'd rather have the real stuff. We'll see you later, Squigs.
Yeah, and appreciate you guys in the audience, like, because when you guys, like, write shit, usually everybody's, like, on topic and, like, sharing, like, legit information, like, and not just, like, talking random shit, which is fine if you do, but that, like, adds to it, too, right? Because the other people who are watching are seeing that and they're learning things. So when you bring something up, like, hey, did you know about this as well? Other eyes are going to be able to see that, and those are also awesome threads to go down. So, like, don't stop that. It helps. And I know on this side, I love reading that shit, because it's like, I didn't know that, or that's actually a good point. So,
Well, I want to bring up one more thing before we head on out of here.
yes.
And everybody, and I mean everybody, should go to phoneboothpodcast.substack.com, subscribe for free, get
Yeah, it's
access
free.
to 9 different podcasts. You can message us here. you can donate to the Cameo UPC codes, and we can make a custom video for you if you have a topic you want us to discuss. You pay the Cameo. I think it's maybe $15. Don't quote me. I could be wrong. But we'll make you the custom video. We've got the Phone Booth podcast on there. Go back and watch the old episodes. I mean, there's so much good episodes out there. In fact, we mentioned Malka earlier. One of the best episodes, in my personal opinion, as well as Templar's episodes, as well as my episodes too. And as you can see, there's exclusive content, which is for paid subscribers. You can pay $5 a month, and that gives you access to tons more
Yeah,
content.
that's everybody. So it's not like you subscribe necessarily just to somebody. Like you can, when you subscribe to the Phone Booth podcast, like you get everybody's shit,
get
right?
everything. You
And if you pay, you unlock all of everybody's fucking paid shit too. So like, and they're looking to do a lot more really cool stuff for people to like bring more and more value as everything grows and goes on. So just keep your ears to the wall for that kind of stuff. But dude, we appreciate the fuck out of you guys, dude. You don't
Yeah.
even know. I hope you guys do know that. We do. You
Yep.
guys are awesome.
Check out Allie's show, Detoxing the Matrix.
Dude, did you see the fucking the head thing she made? Dude,
Oh,
she
yeah,
made
the
chain
copper.
link fucking, oh my god, dude, that girl fucking has skills, dude. She fucking blows my mind, the shit she does. And the way she has her house like Faraday cage, dude, I'm telling you, oh my god, dude, she's a real one. Like some
Yeah.
people talk about that life, Allie is that life, dude. That is some of
She's
the
all
coolest
about it.
shit. Dude.
And check out the merch store while you're on the Substack, and you can check out all of these amazing t-shirts. And Haywood, which one you gonna pick, man? Which one you gonna pick? It better be this one right here, the Here's the Thing podcast. One more thing we got to mention is Can-Am Bullion. You don't want to miss out on this. Let me refresh the page and we can check and see what the prices are at. So we're still in the dip, possibly a good time to buy. But we're not financial experts, so don't listen to us. Check it out yourself. Watch how the prices fluctuate. Gold's at almost $5,000. I remember when it was $300 an ounce. Okay, and now it's at $5,000. I mean, it's just incredible. And there's all kinds of different coins on here, bars, all kinds of stuff. Go check it out. Tell Michael Puccioni that the Substack, the Phone Booth podcast sent you.
If you have money, right, that's sitting in a savings account, or you have investments or whatever going on, or you're in bonds, I could see it being beneficial if you didn't have faith in the dollar, right? If you think the value of the dollar is going to continue to diminish, if you think that the buying power for the dollar is going to continue to diminish, right? It would be smart to tie your money into things like gold that aren't depreciating, right? I would see that as being a logical step to it. But again, everybody has to, go through their own thing and figure out what works for them and whatever. But, if it's there and if it's sitting somewhere and you have the ability, it might be something for you to look into to figure out, if that works. Again, like kind of how much faith do you have in the US dollar? How much longer do you think this bird's going to fly?
Right. And if the gold is out of your price range, that's why silver is so great. And let's be honest, if the shit does hit the fan, the dollar crumbles, we're going to go back to a bartering system. If you need to barter for some food, you can't be trading a gold bar for food. But if you got a little silver coin, hey, you can get
That's
yourself
kind of
some
back
food.
on how the old shit was.
Yeah. So what do we do at the end, Templar? What do we say?
Play it out.
Fade it out. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking around. It's been a blast. Mainstream Monday with Templar. It's been a blast.
Love you guys.
Love you
Seriously,
guys.
Thank you guys all.
Don't forget to go to Phone Booth Podcast at Substack.com. Subscribe for free. Pay the money more. We love you all.
Congratulations, Haywood.
Congrats, Haywood. Better pick
Dead
your
Man,
thing.
Swigs, Dahi, all you guys.
See you next time. Next game.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Graham. Yeah.
Hey, Graham.
Right.
Let me know if you want
Joshua. Yeah. I'll just keep going down everyone that I see. Those were the most engaged people, you know, like definitely appreciate you.
Good night, everybody.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe.